What's the story, Morning Glory? What's the word, Hummingbird? Thank you so much for clicking on my channel and for joining me for this review of The Real Housewives of Potomac, Season 7, Episode 4. And truly, Mademoiselle, this one is especially for you. Thank you for reminding me that I needed to come do my review because I had my notes and I almost forgot to do this review. So thank you, truly, Mademoiselle. Let's get into it. Wendy. Wendy's having a conversation with her husband, Eddie. She's getting him all caught up in the latest drama. And she tells Eddie how Robyn had been so petty by inviting everybody to some event that she was going to be hosting, some fun day in the park event that she was going to be hosting for everybody and their children, and she purposely did not invite Wendy. Now, people call that petty. I think it's beyond petty for Robyn to do that. That was a really ugly thing for Robyn to do. It was rude, it was ugly, it was nasty, it was uncouth, it was just, people don't do that to other people. If you did not want to invite Wendy, I think what she should have done, instead of just making it so blatant and so all up in her face, she should have just sent out a text or sent invites to the people that she specifically wanted there, and left it at that. But for them to be like in a group setting and Wendy to sit there and have to somehow compose herself. I know Wendy wasn't affected. Probably deep down inside, Wendy didn't care that she wasn't invited. But just the fact that, you know, she probably did kind of sort of feel some kind of way for a minute or two when you're with a group of your so-called friends, at least, you know, call them your castmates, and everybody's invited to something that was going to be trash anyway, but we'll get to that later. Everybody's invited to something and you're not. It's just, I can't believe that Robyn did that. I don't understand this visceral hate that Robyn has for Wendy. I'm trying to remember what happened last season as far as, you know, what went down between Wendy and Robyn, and I can't remember. It'll come to me eventually, I'm pretty sure. But whatever it is, I don't think Wendy deserved that kind of treatment. That was just beyond rude. She also tells her husband, Eddie, about Chris and Giselle, how Giselle is accusing Chris of, I'm not exactly sure what, accusing Chris of wanting to have a conversation with her in her room, in her dress, whatever, her makeup room, her dressing room, whatever the hell it was. Anyways, and so Eddie was like, man, they're doing that to my boy Chris after he, you know, invited them to their home and cooked for them. And that's just how people are. You know, human beings can be some very nasty people, as we can see in Robyn's behavior. And Giselle is no different. So the two of them together, they're just, I don't know. Yeah, Chris and Candace, and, you know, invited Robyn, everybody, I'm pretty sure, you know, they go to each other's houses back and forth or whatever the hell. And, you know, Chris is being gracious enough to invite them in his home, to cook for them, show them some hospitality, some friendship, you know, come break bread with us, I'll cook you this delicious meal. And they say thank you by accusing him of doing, I don't know what, but just wanting to, you know, besmirch his reputation. Just awful. Moving on to Robyn. So Robyn is having a conversation with her fiance, roommate / homie, Juan. And she's telling Juan about how Wendy had invited everybody to this event, but she did not want to. No, she's telling Juan how she was going to be hosting this event and she did not want to invite Wendy, but she still wanted Wendy's children there. She didn't want Wendy's children to be left out. So she tells her roommate / homie, Juan, she tells him that she's going to have Candace play auntie and pick up Wendy's boys to bring, or Wendy's children, I think the little girl too, I'm not sure about the little girl, was it just the boys, to bring the boys to this event. And Juan actually thought it was a good idea. I really thought Juan was going to say, no, just don't even bother. If you're not going to invite Wendy, just don't even bother. Just, you know, leave it alone. But instead, he was like, yeah, that's a really good idea because it's showing how you're not petty and you still want the children involved. And I had to look at Juan kind of sideways, and I was kind of like, oh, okay, no wonder y'all have been together for as long as y'all have been, because y'all are both Stupid. Moving on. Ashley plans to release, so she's meeting with her publicist, her friend. I don't know what's going on here. We've never seen this woman before, but evidently this friend is also her publicist and handles all of Ashley's public relations stuff. And she wants to release a statement announcing her and Michael Darby breaking up. Why do you have to release a statement? Who's that invested in Ashley and Michael Darby to the point where they're like, what the hell is going on with Ashley and Michael Darby? Have they released a statement about, the status of, like, who's that invested in Ashley and Michael? I don't understand why you have to release a statement like you're a politician or, some statesman or congressman. Like, this made no sense to me. Why don't you just live your life the way you live your life? And then if people happen to find out that y'all are separated, okay, they're going to find out that y'all are separated. Why are you releasing a statement? Who's that invested? Robyn's Family Fun Day. Absolute pure garbage. First of all, whenever these women on these housewife shows, whenever they have an event, they normally will go like all out, right? I don't know if Bravo cuts them a check for this or if they pay for these things out of their own pocket, but whatever the situation is, whether the network pays or they pay, it was not a good look for Robyn. So either Bravo doesn't think much of her and gave her like a $10 spending budget for her event, or she's poor. It's one or the other. Because how are you going to have an event, invite that many people, and just have absolutely no plan, no setup, no decor? You couldn't even bring Scotch tape to keep the tablecloth down from blowing in the wind. Robyn, what the hell was that? Robyn, why are you like this? Why are you so disinvolved in your own life? Because this whole setup, this fun day in the park, this family fun day setup, it was just the only thing that they did was she got some, I don't even know, some rubber bands that she probably ordered off of Amazon, more like maybe from the dollar store. She got a whole bunch of rubber bands for people to, to tie around their ankles to do a 3-legged race. And then she got some old potato sacks for a potato sack race. And that was basically it. Robyn, you were not even ashamed. You weren't even embarrassed by how this looked, because these women go, because, they're on a television show. So no matter what they do, it has to be amped up. No matter what they do, they have to be amped up. Let me kind of take a little sidebar. I was watching, what was I watching? I was watching Love and Marriage Huntsville, and this was last season, not this season's, but last season's, one of the episodes from last season. And there was a scene where Melody Holt, and it was in the middle of the day, it was in the afternoon, so she was gonna go meet some of her friends up for lunch, middle of the day. And they were going to go to some little taco place, like a little taco restaurant where nothing could have been more than $10 a plate, okay? She shows up in her like full glam, and she had on like a black leather outfit. She was in full complete glam, and she's showing up in the middle of the day to some cheap taco joint. And I had mentioned that in my review. I was like, what the hell is Melody Holt doing showing up at some $5-10 little taco restaurant, little taco joint in full glam, wearing a black leather outfit, like she was going to be going out for cocktails, in the evening. And somebody in my comments had said, these women are a walking brand. They always have to show out because they represent their brands, their companies, themselves. So every time there's a camera, they got to amp it up. Normal people wouldn't dress like that. Normal people would just put on jeans, t-shirt, and go to a taco joint and be done with it. But because they're on television and there's a camera there, there's like this huge audience watching them, they have to be amped up. Robyn missed that damn memo. She completely missed that memo because Robyn is so humdrum. She's so like, I'm over all of this. that was just ridiculous, because I would have expected, even from Robyn, I would have expected so much more. Even from Robyn Dixon, I would have expected so much more. So, the food setup was atrocious. The activities were abysmal. Everybody was not really, they were trying to be polite and make the best of it, but it was a hot mess through and through. There was no organization. There was no planning. It was just chaotic. It was absolutely chaotic. It was a waste of everybody's time. It was such a waste of time that her homie Juan Dixon didn't even bother to show up. How are you not going to show up to an event, no matter how low budget, no matter how disorganized, no matter how embarrassing it is? Juan Dixon, how are you not going to show up to your homie's event? That's what I need to know. It's one thing when you don't show up to other people's events because you just don't want to be bothered with the mess and the drama and the women yapping all night long and arguing and all of that. I get it. But this is your homie and you're not even going to show up to her event that your kids are also participating in? Juan Dixon, that's a damn shame. An absolute shame. So Mia says in her confessional that Robyn is a pretty girl, so I really wasn't expecting much. And I should have known better. I shouldn't have been expecting much either, but I was going to give Robyn the benefit of the doubt, and I was going to think that, she would have put something together that would have been, camera worthy. Obviously, Wendy declined for her children to attend. I would have done the exact same thing. You're not going to have somebody come pick up my children to come to your garage sale event and then not invite me, but you want my children there without me. That's not going to be happening. So Wendy did what any mother would have done, and she, declined that invitation. Robyn says in her confessional, so, this is in response to Wendy not agreeing for her children to attend. Robyn says in her confessional, so it's really not about the kids. What? Like, Robyn, do you not understand that the mother does not want her children to go to a place where she's not going to be there as well? Like, do you not understand that? Not only just for safety reasons and not only for that motherly instinct reason where, you want to be wherever your children are, because their children are young. It's not even for that, but just the fact that you're going to diss me, you're going to completely disrespect me, and then think about it and then be like, oh, but your kids can still come. And you see nothing wrong with that. Like, Robyn, what is happening to you this season? They do the potato sack race. When they were doing the potato sack race, Mia participated. And the way that she was hopping up and down in that potato sack, she looked like a cartoon character. Karen, all of a sudden, got allergies. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, she gets the allergies and she's got to go. And it's so bad that she wants Gordon, Mia's husband, to walk her to her car and carry her bag, because she's on death's door with her allergies. So she just had to leave. Obviously, she didn't want to stick around because Charisse was going to be there. And, she wants nothing to do with Charisse. So it's the consensus of everybody in the group that the reason why Karen doesn't want to fool with Charisse is because many, many, many moons ago, Charisse had accused Karen at a reunion, at a Housewives of Potomac reunion. She had accused Karen of having a little boo thing on the side that she referred to as blue eyes. So evidently, I guess, she was messing around with some Caucasian man behind Ray's back. And I guess Karen has never gotten over that. For her to be this bothered and to still be this bothered so many years later, I'm beginning to wonder if there was some truth to it. Because if somebody's lying on you, if you know the truth and your man knows the truth, why does it bother you? Why does it bother you? Why would it bother you? Why are you still hanging on to that? To the point where you have to leave. Now, I can understand if Karen would have stayed and just really didn't associate with Charisse. Y'all don't have to do the three-legged race together, but you should still be there to support your friend Robyn. But for you to not go to events because Charisse is going to be there, and for you to leave events early because Charisse is there, because of what she said about Mr. Blue Eyes, Karen, get over it. You can be civil around her. Or why don't you check her? Why don't you just be like, you know what? I'm still bothered by the fact that you accused me of being unfaithful to my husband. That just was not cool. And then have her apologize. And then y'all can just get on with y'all's lives. Damn, Karen. Yeah, so all of a sudden, you know, she got very allergic to Charisse and she had to leave. So then Candace arrives and she completely ignores Giselle. So they're like, all the people are sitting and all the women are sitting on benches or bleachers or something. And Candace arrives and Giselle is sitting there with everybody else. And Candace makes a point to greet everybody except for Giselle. She even said hi to Maya. So after that, Ashley shows up with her 2 children, and she talks about how Michael is going to be getting a vasectomy because she says that Michael believes that she is trying to purposely get pregnant and have another baby by him. So he does not want that to happen. So he's going to get a vasectomy. Well, how about the fact that y'all are supposed to be divorcing or separating? How about the fact that y'all just don't do it? But because y'all are divorcing, right? And separating, right? Okay. So she says she's really sad because the fact that he's going to get a vasectomy and that they're not going to have any more children together, you know, it makes it really final. It makes it very real to her that her marriage is finally over. Ashley then asks Candace about her fertility journey. Candace says that she had to cancel this cycle of IVF because she wasn't responding to the drugs. And then Ashley tells her, you know, to keep trying. And she says, you know, I wrote about you in my journal. And Candace is like, why? What do you mean? And so Ashley was like, yeah, I just wrote about you in my journal because, you know, I don't know if she said I pray for you. Basically, Ashley was trying to say, I am hoping for the best for you. And she says, you know, and I want to sprinkle, or I'm going to sprinkle some baby dust on you, or something pertaining to baby dust. Now, baby dust is just saying that you're hoping for this person to become pregnant. It's just, you know, what do you call it? You know, it's not real dust. It's just something that you say, an expression that you use, you know, to just wish somebody luck in their fertility journey. Like, you know, I pray to, you know, sprinkle a whole bunch of baby dust on you. Just saying that, hey, I want you to be successful in your fertility journey, and I want this to end in a healthy pregnancy with a healthy baby. That's all that means. But Candace took it to a completely another level. I guess she never heard of the term baby dust. She's never been in fertility. And I can understand if you're not living in the TTC world, you know, trying to conceive world, or, you know, struggling with fertility world, you don't know about these terms. But if you go to a couple of message boards of women who are trying to conceive, you're going to see that a lot. That's a very common term in the trying to conceive world, or the TTC world, you know, baby dust. It's not evil. It's not witchcraft. It's not nothing like that, Candace. Only thing that she's trying to say, but she couldn't say it correctly, was that she wants you to succeed in your journey to having a baby. The episode ends with Ashley finding out that someone leaked the news that her and Michael are separating. She claims that it wasn't her. And she's really worried about Michael being mad because this news came out. Because it's going to somehow affect his business negatively. Because she had mentioned previously that they did not want it to come out that they were separating, because it was going to have some type of an effect on some type of business deal, business arrangement. I have no idea. And she's all worried about Michael being mad at her because Michael might think that she leaked it. I really didn't care about any of that. That did not interest me at all. Really didn't bother me. And it's funny to me how Michael is purposely not making an appearance this season. Michael Darby, I guess he's done with Potomac. I think he's just done with all this reality TV crap. He's over and he's done with it. And yeah, so that's where that episode ended. Do I have any final thoughts? Robyn, that was just, you should have told Robyn to edit all of that out. That whole entire event. You should have just edited all of that out. At least y'all could have like played a game, like played softball or baseball or touch football or soccer or you could have put in the coin to have like a really cool obstacle course built. You could have done so much with that instead of bringing a couple of potato sacks, and they look like real legit potato sacks that you found probably in your basement, and those dollar store rubber bands for them to tie around their ankles to do the 3 leg. Robyn, you completely embarrassed yourself. Absolutely embarrassed yourself. If you didn't have the coin to spend, you shouldn't have had nothing done at all. But you wanted to plan something because you purposely wanted to leave Wendy out. Because when she had invited everybody, when they were at the dance studio, and she had invited everybody to this low budget event, I kind of felt like it was just like on the spur of the moment. She just wanted to do something to spite Wendy because she was so angry at Wendy. So she was like, you know what, I'm just going to invite people to something. And then in the very last minute, she tried to put this damn thing together. And we never even got to see the damn food. We never even got to see the food. Only thing that we saw of the food was the damn tablecloth blowing over everything. We didn't even get to see the damn food. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me. I really do appreciate it. On your way out, please do not forget to rate the video if you like this content. Go ahead and subscribe, and I will definitely talk to you later.